Hello folks, this is Sula once again. Welcome to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is the start of set 6.5. Neon Knights is the official title of this. I've done some videos for set 6.5 when it was on the public beta server, the PvE. However, it is now live on the client, so we are no longer on PvE, and set 6.5 is officially out. And so this is going to be the first video I record for the set with set 6.5 now on the live server. So what do we make of set 6.5? Well, overall, of course, it's relatively similar to set 6. It has carried over the main gameplay mechanic of set 6, which was the use of Hextech augments. There have actually been quite a few augments added to the gameplay. I don't know if, I think they took a couple of the augments out. They took out the augments that were related to the traits that were removed in the mid-set update, but most of the augments have stuck around, and there's a whole bunch of new ones. In fact, one of the issues I have with set 6.5 is I think they probably have too many augments at the moment, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Obviously, a lot of new champions have been added. They actually have added more champions than ever before in the mid-set update. This is the largest number of new champions. A lot of the champions that have been brought in are reprints from previous sets of Teamfight Tactics, but they did change quite a few. They changed out about 20 champions, which is a pretty big change from set 5.5, which only changed out about, I think, about 10 champions. So quite a few champions more. And of course, we have new traits as to go along with the new units that are in there. All right, well, this game's going to be interesting because this is a prismatic augment game right off the bat, and I am going to take Level Up Augment out of these. I don't think I've actually put a Level Up game on YouTube before. You get these prismatic augments. The first augment is prismatic only 6% of the time, and that's consistent in both set 6 and 6.5. So you don't see the first augment go prismatic that often. It's about 1 in every 14 or 15 games, roughly. The first one is prismatic. And Level Up is something that you're going to want to take if it's the first one. So this is both a chance to showcase some of the gameplay in set 6.5 and also to showcase a Level Up game. Because if you watch the stuff on my channel or if you've read the stuff I've written on my website, you know I enjoy exploring the economic side of the gameplay. And that's what Level Up is. It's an economic augment. Gives you additional experience when you level up. All right, so here I decide that I'm going to grab these two Singe because I may be able to play a Innovator opener, and then it turns out I am able to play an Innovator opener, so I'm going to rapidly try to transition my board here. I'm going to try to get all these Innovator champs in. I have a 2-star Singe, so we'll play that. I'm going to get the Darius and the Ziggs out. I'm going to play the Zilean, and then I'm going to play the Camille to get Clockwork in, and that eats up almost all of my gold. The one champion I should have held on to is I should have held on to that Ziggs, just because he is a way to get scrap trade in, and there's a decent chance that my next unit in will be scrap. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how this came together. I was able to reconfigure my board, get Innovator champions in, get the Camille in to play Clockwork with Zilean, and so far, at least, I'm not running any champs different from what I would have been running in set 6. But there are some changes to the Innovator team comp because Heimerdinger is no longer in the game, and he has been replaced with Echo, who was in set 6 but was not an Innovator. Echo is now an Innovator in set 6.5. That is one of many changes here in the mid-set update. All right, let's talk a minute here about the Level Up Augment, because I want to highlight this in a little bit more detail. So what does Level Up do? Again, the thing is it increases the amount of XP you get when leveling up. Normally, you spend 4 gold to get 4 XP. Normally, it trades at like a 1-to-1 ratio. You know, you trade 4 gold for 4 XP. With Level Up, that kind of very basic math to the game gets shifted around. You now pay 4 gold for 7 XP, so you get almost double value. Not quite double value, but almost double value. And this is very, very powerful. Level Up is one of the strongest augments that you can get. The math on this, there's a couple of websites that track kind of how these things do from a data perspective. And Level Up has very good results when taken as the first prismatic augment. I think the average finish is like 3.7 or something like that, which considering if everything's perfectly random, then the average finish is 4.5. So you can see that's quite a bit better. So this is one of the stronger prismatic augments. And yeah, I mean, getting that much extra, getting 7 XP per 4 gold is just inherently a lot better. So I go ahead, you see that normally I would not look to level on stage 2-2. That's not a standard leveling timing. However, I go ahead and level there to try to get to level 5. And I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to look to try to get to level 6 very early as well. So this is what you want to do if you have level up. If you ever find yourself in the situation where you have level up augment, you want to push tempo, you want to level quickly, and the goal is just try to be one level higher than everyone else in the lobby. That's kind of your goal. You want to try to be a level higher than everyone else. And that's kind of how you use this augment to make it powerful. Is like when everyone else is level 4, you want to be level 5. When everyone else is level 5, you want to be level 6. So in some ways, it's kind of like playing the force of nature augment, the one that gives you +1 team size. It's like the little flag icon. That's a prismatic augment. So it can be a little bit like that, but it does have a little bit higher skill cap to use correctly, because you kind of have to be very carefully managing getting a larger team size against the trade-off of still needing to manage your economy. For instance, I'm at 9 gold there. I really wish I had been 10 gold, but I come up one short. Did not want to sell that Ezreal to get to 10 gold, because I was hoping to hit Ezreal 2-star here. That's kind of intended to be my carry unit here in the early game. All right, so as far as what I can take off this carousel, I thought, maybe another AD item, that might not be terrible. Maybe a frontline item would not be bad. But then I see that there is this Echo just on the carousel with a rod. So not only is Echo another innovator, Echo with a rod is like the best item you can put on him, because he only needs like a belt in order to make Morellos off of that. And he will be another innovator, so the innovator scarab is going to be stronger. And I can easily make Morello if I can put a belt on him, if I said that. So yeah, and then you see I'm going to double level here so that I can get to level 6. Now this is going to torch a good bit of my economy. I go down under 10 gold again, which is not ideal, but I'm going to hit level 6. This is hopefully going to let me keep win streaking. I've kind of gambled that I'm going to be able to win streak to preserve my economy here. And of course, by being level 6 so early in the game, I'm going to be getting the better shop odds. And that's another reason why level up is so nice. It's a little bit like getting high-end shopping, which is the one where your shop appears one level higher than it normally is, except that unlike high-end shopping, which is one of the worst prismatic augments, this one lets you play another unit at the same time. So it's like, not only am I level 6 and get the level 6 shops, I also get to play 6 units, which is really nice. I mentioned at the start of the video that Echo is now an innovator, so he is the new innovator to replace Heimerdinger. He's still Scrap and he's still Assassin, he just has gained Innovator trait as well. So one of the team compositions that's very popular here on the release version of set 6.5 is basically what people are calling flex innovators. In other words, you take kind of the basic innovator framework, and then you can pull the team comp in different directions depending on which units you're hitting. As it turns out, there's actually 3 people that are playing innovators in this lobby. Me and then 2 other people are also playing innovators. So what are some of the directions you can take that? Well, you can, for example, you can have kind of like 5 innovators as your core shell. Then you can try to toss in units like Jin and Orianna in order to get up to like 4 clockwork and then play snipers. That's one possibility. You can also look to play some additional scrap units, because Ezreal plus the Echo are both scrap, so you can play more scrap units to get to 4 scrap. Like you can put in Jinx and Aurelia late game. That gets you to 4 scrap, which can be very powerful. You can also look to play into more like enchanters. You can try to run like Seraphine as your main carry. And in fact, I'm leaning in that direction because I had the items to make a Spear of Shojin. So I'm intending to move this over to a Seraphine later on. If the Hextech Spotlight's in a good location, you play Seraphine plus Senna, who is the Taric replacement, Enchanter plus Spotlight. Then maybe you can throw in Gnar for 3, Gnar is another new champ who is also a Socialite champ. Throw that in for 3 Socialite, and then you can try to play like through the Socialite Spotlight, or add additional enchanters, Senna plus Morgana, plus Orianna for more enchanters. Like, it's a very, very flexible shell, and you can kind of take the team in different directions depending on what items you're hitting and what champions you're seeing. And of course, Jace is an innovator still. and Jace is always going to have the potential to be played in the front line or in the back line, depending on what units you're hitting. If you need more front line, he can be a good tank. If you need more damage, he can be a main damage dealer as well. So like I said, very popular right now to be running kind of this Innovator flex board. So I was able to get a belt out of that minion round, so I just go ahead and make the Morellos right away. Pretty happy with that. And then I had a bow here, and I was like, you know what? Giant Slayer is going to be useful on just about any unit I want. I could run it on like a Jhin if I decide to play in that direction. I could run it on backline Jace if I want to play Jace carry. I could run it on Seraphine, and it's not one of her best items, but it's not bad. You know, increases damage, gives her extra attack speed. It's not terrible. It does increase damage from abilities as well. So overall, I think that this item will have utility no matter what units I end up running. So I go ahead and make that. And then I still got this leftover rod on my bench that could be used for, I don't know, Jeweled Gauntlet or Death Cap or a whole number of different things. All right, so I'm checking the cost to level. Note that it's 16 to level. And so normally on 3-2, that's where people are generally going to be going to level 6. So I decide, you know what? I can probably just level here and go to level 7. And so it does drop me down to 20 gold. But again, now I'm going to be seeing the level 7 shop odds, which will be very nice to have. And I just throw in Malzahar because why not? He doesn't make any traits, but he will add a little bit of damage. And if anything, my comp's a little low on damage at the moment. Wish I had slightly more damage capability. I would much prefer to find a Seraphine, which would get me to 5 Innovator. I wouldn't mind finding another Scrap Champion. I kind of wish I had held on to those Ziggs from earlier, because Ziggs would get me to 4 Scrap, and that would be really nice this early on. So yeah, and I'm just hoping that by going to 7 early on, I'll be able to keep win streaking. And that seems to be happening. I actually have almost entirely 1-star units. I believe Singed is my only 2-star unit. But I've been able to win 7 rounds anyway, in part because Innovator is relatively strong right now, in part because I think my team comp is pretty well built. Now I've got 2 tempting options here. Tiny Titans, that would take me up to 135 maximum health, which would be very nice. It would mean that I could almost certainly just make it to level 9 and maybe even level 10 with the Level Up Augment that I took first. But the other option is Binary Airdrop. And what Binary Airdrop will do is it'll add an extra item onto any champion who has 2 items. And in fact, I decide this is what I want here because it's going to be really, really good for me in this game if I play into Scrap. And now that I've got Binary Airdrop, I definitely want to try to play into 4 Scrap. Because the extra items that you roll from Binary Airdrop do count towards the Scrap shield. There's like this natural interaction between Scrap providing extra shielding based on how many items you have, and then Binary Airdrop giving you extra items at the start of combat. I have made a mistake here, though. I switched around. I was trying to switch around my units. I was like, oh, cool, I'll just put all my items on Seraphine. And then I realized that I have screwed up because this is not going to work with Binary Airdrop. I actually have kind of messed up here because the whole purpose of Binary Airdrop is you only put 2 items on your champion and you get a 3rd one for free. But instead I sold an Ezreal and sold an Echo so I could move all those items over to Seraphine. And like those are good items for Seraphine. The Giant Slayer is a little wonky, but overall those are good items for Seraphine. The problem is now I am not getting value from Binary Airdrop. So I really should have just put Shojin plus Morellos on her, and then put the Giant Slayer on someone else. Like later on, maybe that should be on like an Aurelia or a Jinx or something. But like that should have been saved for someone else. Because if I just had 2 items on Seraphine, she'd roll a 3rd item for free anyway. And like it might be kind of useless, but I want to get as many items in play as possible because I want to get that Scrap value. So that was not good by me. I basically messed that up. Oh well. Live and learn. You know, when you're in the middle of these games, sometimes it can be harder to see what you should do. And that's part of the reason why I go back and cast these games, is so I can look back at what I did and try to improve. All right, so there was an Orianna with a tear on the carousel. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Orianna with a tear, that's amazing. Now all I have to do is find like a cloak. And if I can get a cloak, then that can be a chalice. Plus, she's like 1 item away from also getting binary airdrop value. So I'm going to look to definitely put, 1 item and 1 component on her. Like 3 total components, so she'll get another item for free. And other than that, I'm just kind of chilling here. I'm on this 8-match win streak. I'm feeling really good about my board. Again, I've been staying 1 level higher than the rest of the lobby pretty much the whole time. I'm a little sad by the Seraphine ult here because she did not target Lucian. She just kind of tossed her ult at nobody. And once again, she does not target her ult at Lucian. So I was like, am I going to win this round? Fortunately, Zillion is absolutely doing work with his time bombs. He keeps freezing the enemy teams. And I was like, oh, can I win this one? And come on, Seraphine. Oh, whew. Definitely nice to keep that win streak going as long as possible. So yeah, I was a little surprised that I won that because Seraphine was not aiming her ult particularly well, but it worked out in the end. And I've been able to win 9 rounds in a row. And again, it's not like my board is packed with 2-star units here. I have 2-star Singed and 2-star Zillion, and that's it. So I've been pretty lucky here. Obviously, I was lucky to hit the Seraphine so early on, getting the Seraphine. I think I hit the Seraphine at level 6. But again, it's not like I've had insane luck either. I took an Orianna off Carousel, and a lot of these units are showing up because I've been higher than normal level in the lobby. All right, I'm up against one of the other Innovator players. Remember how I said that there were multiple Innovator players in this lobby? Well, unfortunately, this person's got a very well itemized Ezreal. So I was like, I don't know if I beat this. Gonna give it my best shot. Come on, can we kill that Ezreal? It's gonna be close. Come on, Seraphine. There we go. I honestly thought that I was gonna lose that round because that Ez had very good items. But hey, Seraphine gets it done. And you know, even though I put the Giant Slayer on Seraphine, which, like I said, was probably subpar from in like a pure numbers binary airdrop perspective, I don't know if I win that round if she doesn't have that item on her. So maybe it worked out in the end anyway, because it actually was very valuable to carry my win streak all the way through both stage 2 and stage 3. That has delivered me a ton of money. And that means I'm going to be able to beat level 8 on 4-1. So again, remember, oftentimes people go 7 on 4-1. I'm going to be level 8 on 4-1. So once again, just trying to stay one level higher than the rest of the lobby, again and again, at all times. All right, so let's go to level 8. And there we go. And now I want to roll because I want to stabilize. As I typically do, I want to roll on level 8. The Galio is tempting, but I don't think I can get him in this comp. Not quite what I'm looking for, but 2-starring Echo is nice. You can always pick up more Singed. I may have to sell and replace Singed down the road. I'm going to toss in the Ziggs for 4 scrap. That's going to give me more binary airdrop value. And there's more Singed. I really just want one more Seraphine. If I could hit one more Seraphine, I'd feel very content to go to level 9 here. But that's not quite what's going to happen. So again, I'm trying to figure out how do I want to use my items here. I'm done itemizing Seraphine. So what I really want to do now is try to get 3 components, you know, like 1 completed item and 1 component onto the Orianna and then onto the Echo, because those are kind of my other key units here. Unfortunately, we are not doing very well against this Tryndamere, so it looks like I am finally going to take a loss here, and that's a little bit sad. No, I hate to see that win streak come to an end, but oh well. So yeah, the Victor, ooh, I mean, I actually have good Victor items. I wonder in retrospect if I should have picked up Victors, because like this is a comp that can also go into like Victor Flex as well. Like he's another unit that you can flex into if you're, because like I do have the Spear of Shojin, and I could make another Spear of Shojin like right now. I could just put this on, or like I'm considering, and I actually do end up making the Shojin there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this Spear of Shojin on Ori plus a tier. Now she will roll a binary airdrop item at the beginning of every round. And I've made one other small adjustment. I decided that a 1-star Ziggs was not doing anything, and it was more valuable to put in Kha'Zix for Mutant and get Assassin trait in play to help out my Echo. Because Echo is 2-star, and I figure he has got to be more useful than a 1-star Ziggs. Even though Ziggs would put 4 scrap in play, I figure, let's get an Assassin in and just go from there. And again, I'm feeling pretty good here. I might need to roll just a little bit more to try to stabilize, but if I could just hit like the 2-star Seraphine, I'd feel very content to just go to level 9 from here, which is kind of like going to level 8 for other players, because again, I'm like, my leveling timings are really off here because of how I'm playing my way through this, but I'm feeling pretty good. Having Innovator 5 is certainly nice. The spotlight's up on the front row, so I'm using the Mechanical Bear for the spotlight because I really don't have anyone else to put in the spotlight. All right, now I do need to mention something else that's new for set 6.5, which some of you are probably familiar with. And if you're watching this video like a year down the road, this is going to seem like I can't believe this wasn't in place before. But you can now see which opponents are going to hit next. The matchmaking has always worked this way. It was just hidden from players. There were actually like some third-party modifications that could do that, that would show you who you were most likely to hit. So you basically have like a 1 in 3 odds of hitting any particular team comp. And now the game actually shows you who you're going to hit. And if you're paying attention, this is a really big deal. Like, this is really, really big in terms of controlling who you're going to hit at any point in time. So in that particular round, I scouted the 3 people that I could hit. It's indicated by a little sword icon next to your portrait. And none of the 3 people I could hit had a Blitzcrank on their team. So I was able to play Seraphine in the corner, and like I didn't have to worry at all. There was no way she could get hooked because no one I was playing Blitzcrank. So this is really, really key, and it's important to watch who you're most likely to hit and be ready to position accordingly when that's the case. So I do get some options there. I could have taken the Cloak and then made a Chalice on Uri, but remember, I'm trying to itemize the Echo next so that Echo will roll another item via binary airdrop. It's also 40 gold to level to 9, so I decided right here I would not roll on this stage or on the following stage. I would just wait until after the minion round, and then I would go to 9 on stage 5-1. So at the moment, I'm level 8, and I'm kind of equal in level to the rest of the lobby. But then at the start of stage 5, I'll be able to go to level 9, and then I'll be like I'll be once again like a level up. Haha. Once again, a level up on the rest of the lobby. And then I'll be able to roll for legendary units at level 9. So like I'm hoping to find Jace, I'm hoping to find probably Jinx. And if I'm at level 9 very early with a lot of gold to roll, I think I'll have pretty good odds to find these units. Like my next unit in is definitely going to be a scrap unit. So it'll be Aurelia or Jinx so that I can get up to scrap 4. All right, in this round, the Seraphine got popped, but we've kind of killed everything else on the other team. And by the way, Zillion is continuing to do amazing work here with his time bombs. He's been awesome in a bunch of these fights. And yeah, so we're going to finish off the Vi there. So pretty happy with that. Any round that I win here where I'm econing is very valuable. All right, I've got a couple other options. Sunfire Board, well, that might not be bad other times, but I have double Morellos, so I do not need that. Broken Stopwatch is not going to be useful with just Zillion plus Ori, no way. So what is my option? Well, the only other one is Exiles, which is the one where you get a shield if your units spread out. So I was like, all right, I guess I can try to do this. Let's move Seraphine in the corner, and now who am I up against? Oh, there is a Blitzcrank on one of those teams, so I can't run Seraphine in the corner, or else she's going to run the risk of getting blitz hooked. So I'm going to have to move her somewhere else. So I think I'm going to swap her and the Oriana at the last second here. But I'm in a position to get some very, very, very large shields because I'm going to get the Exile Shield, plus I'm also going to get the Scrap Shield. And I'm about to hit 4 Scrap plus Binary Airdrop, which is going to be an awful lot of items, so which turns into an awful lot of shielding. All right, so again, I have to swap here just in case I'm up against the Blitzcrank team. Am I up against the Blitzcrank team? Well, it turns out, yes, I am. And so scouting has allowed my Seraphine to not get hooked by Blitzcrank. So that's, again, pretty important and a good reason why you really want to be looking at who you can potentially be matched up against. So this is that person who's also playing Innovators. And actually, one of the two, that's right, there's 3 of us playing Innovators. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to win this one, unfortunately. I don't really have a great consistent damage dealer. And then finally I hit the 2-star Seraphine. It's like, oh yeah, now you give me the 2-star Seraphine. But I probably would have lost that round anyway. My comp is a little bit low on direct damage. My team is more like tanky and burn them to death with Morellos over time. But like in terms of raw damage, my team's a little bit low. So I'm hoping long term I can get Jinx in. And then Jinx will help solve my damage problem because being a 5-cost unit, she's going to deal a good bit of damage. I'll just have to look to try and get items. I was hoping maybe I could get some items off Carousel that would be good for her. All right, we're going to continue getting more singes here. I don't know how to say that. And I've also found a 2-star Senna, so that's also a possibility. She gives me Enchanter and a 2nd rank of the Socialite Spotlight. So let's go ahead and make that. I'm going to put her and Aurelia in. I don't actually value Assassin trait that highly. And then I get a Jace, so I will go ahead and put Jace in. And I was like, all right, well, I definitely need to get Jace itemized. I want to make sure he's getting the binary airdrop. So I'm going to take the components that I just made, put them on Jace, and now Jace will roll a free binary airdrop item at the start of every round. And look at the size of my shields now that I have scrap 4 in. These are some massive, massive shields that we're getting at the start of every round. So this makes my team much tankier, and it makes it very difficult to like burst down my team. So we're up against someone who's playing Yordles, and it's not especially close. I'm level 9. What do I have? 5 Innovator, the J Straight Transformer, 4 Scrap, 2 Socialite, 2 Clockwork, 2 Enchanter. Doesn't look like I'm going to get the Mechanical Dragon in this game, but look what we found here. Found a Jinx. And I think I'd rather play that than play the Aurelia. Now I just have to like position these units so that I don't get, so that I'm actually getting the Exile's shield. So it's like, I gotta keep shifting these units around. There we go. That looks like it'll do. Senna and Ezreal are not getting the shield because they're like the units I care the least about out of these on my bench. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I just need to keep an eye on these other teams. It looks like I didn't really have a chance to scout that round, but I think I did check quickly and saw that Seraphine was not likely to get hooked by Blitzcrank. Still, look at these shields. Pretty crazy how much shielding we're getting. And then that just kind of buys time for, you know, Seraphine to get off her ult and Uri to get off her ult, and then Jace to hit people with his hammer, and then for Jinx to come crashing in as well. So yeah, we're looking pretty good, and at this point, I feel content to sit here, build up maybe a little bit more gold. I'd love to try to hit like Jinx 2-star. I think that would be pretty nice. And now I'm looking to try to itemize Jinx. Oh, look, there's another Jinx. I am actually level 9. Doesn't feel like I'm level 9. It feels more like I'm level 8 for whatever reason. But I am actually level 9. I do get the level 9 shop odds, 16% to get the legendary units. So I was considering, do I want to like roll here? Do I want to just, you know, hold for the time being? I decided I'd hold for the time being and then think about whether I wanted to roll some more or look to go to level 10, which you can in fact hit with the Level Up Augment. You don't just like get to level 9 and get stuck there. You can also then go up to level 10, which is pretty nice. Let's see, who do we have here? Oh, look, it's another one of these Innovator boards. Unfortunately, I'm going to get Zephyred here, and that's really bad for Jinx, because it's going to take Jinx forever to ult once she gets Zephyred. Her mana cost is quite high. Like, my Jinx, does my Jinx even go off in this fight? I don't think that she does, whereas there's another Jinx on the other board that does in fact go off, and actually has pretty good Jinx items. So yeah, the Shroud that the other team rolled kind of wrecked me pretty good, and I take 16 damage, which is like, ooh. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for at all. Now there is a shroud on this carousel, so I was like, definitely no one's gonna let me get that shroud, right? That shroud has to be the item that the other players want. But it's actually kind of not what the other players want. And there's some good stuff here. Like I could take the Bloodthirster for Jinx, that would be good. I could take the shroud, but I decided I'm gonna just take the Enforcer emblem because that'll put Enforcer in play, and it gives me an item towards binary airdrop. So I was trying to figure out who to put this on. I was like, do I just put it on Echo so he rolls another item? But then I was like, no, I want to get Jinx. I want to start getting a free item on Jinx. So I'll look to put it on Jinx. And then as soon as I hit the item on Jinx, I was like, all right, let's stop here. I will get another item from the dragon at the end of this round. Hopefully it's a good item for Jinx. And then I can put it on her and we'll be in a position where she'll start getting a free binary airdrop item. So I passed up the opportunity to get like a Bloodthirster on her, but I have to feel like Enforcer is pretty good in these late game fights because someone on the other team is going to get Enforcered. Plus, it does get her one more. It does get her closer to getting binary airdrop item, even though it just like the Enforcer emblem just gives you 100 health, or I think it's 150 technically. So yeah, Jinx's items are not great, but I mean we're kind of destroying most of these other teams, so I wasn't too worried about that overall. Now, one thing I do have to watch out for is there is this person who's playing Sivir, and it looks like that person is the one who's the strongest at the moment. They seem to be the one on the win streak. I'm checking to see how much more gold I need to get to level 10. I only need 52 gold to get there, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just save here. We've got another minion round coming up here after the dragon. I should have enough to get to level 10, and I don't know I'm going to have room to fit all these units because of my whole attempt to have them spread out for exiles. I don't think that's going to work, but I will I will see if I can get another unit in. All right, I know who I'm going to be up against, so I try to reposition Blitz to hook the Sivir. However, this player decides then to switch up their team at the last second, which was the correct decision. But that does mean that now the Mechanical Bear is not on the spotlight, and that's kind of not so good because the bear is actually giving me a lot of value, and Blitzcrank being on that tile is not so great. That said, we look like we're in great shape. All right, we've killed everything except Sivir, so this should be really easy, right? Right? That's a lot of lifesteal on that Sivir. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that Sivir killed like my entire team. I was like, ooh, oh, okay. I guess that Sivir's pretty strong. Look at that. 2300 shielded, 2400 healed. I was like, oh, wow, that was a lot of healing. Okay, I have double Morellos. I did not think she'd be able to heal that much through double Morellos, but okay. I guess that unit's going to be dangerous. And also keep an eye on that player. They have double Nikos on their bench, and they already have 4 Sivers. So effectively, that means they have like 6 Sivers already. I was like, oh no. I have to hold any Sivers I see to make sure this person does not get to Sivir 3-star. So I really am hoping that person does not get to Sivir 3-star. Let's see. I do have enough money to get to level 9, or level 10, excuse me. So I was like, what do I play? I play a twin shot so that Jinx will be... I play a twin shot to try to get Jinx up to the 3rd item via binary airdrop. So I put the locket on her. This is 100% not the item I want on Jinx. I probably should have just put it on Echo and tried to get another item from the carousel. But I decided, we're almost at the end of this game. I'll just put this on Jinx and see what happens. All right, so here is the non-Sivir player. This is the other person who's playing Innovators. I think that my board is better than theirs, though. I do have 10 units to their 8, and I also have Jinx 2-star. They only have Jinx 1-star. So even though their Jinx has much better items than my Jinx, I think that I've got this one. So yeah, we're going to win this one pretty easily. And unfortunately, the Sivir player is still win streaking. I was like, oh man, that's pretty dangerous. But at least I find another Jace, and then I was like, all right, these Singe, I'm never going to hit these Singe. Let's just clear these. By the way, if you've never seen level 10 before, look at the shop odds. It's 25% odds for the legendary units, 40% odds for the 4-cost units. If I had more gold to spend, and if this game wasn't about to be over, I could look to switch things up a bit. I did wonder if I should just like try to randomly like 2-star Silco or something, because 2-star Silco is pretty overtuned at the moment. But I didn't feel like I had enough gold to do that. I wanted to roll to try to hit 2-star Jace. All right, so once again, we've got a shot at this comp. They do have Sivir in the corner, but they managed to get a Trap Claw. I was like, all right, though, come on. We've got the Morellos burning on this Sivir. Come on, we have to get this. We've even got a Warmogs on my Jace, was his random item, which is an awesome item to roll via the binary. All right, so I've got like half my team alive. It's like, come on, Sivir can't kill my entire team, right? Oh, come on, come on. Let's go. Can we get the time bomb on her? And no, we still lose. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? We still lost to that Sivir? Jeez. So apparently I just need more damage in my comp. That seems to be the issue. Just like I don't actually have that much damage. So like again, my team's very tanky. We get these absurd shields. But in terms of raw damage, it looks like we're actually kind of low. Because Jinx, again, has a locket and an enforcer emblem. So yeah, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Also, that person now has 6 Sivers and double Nikos. I was like, oh, please don't find the Sivir 3-star. Please don't find the Sivir 3-star. Turns out that this is going to be a ghost round. I'm against the other player, the one who is not running that monster Sivir. So that's good. This comp I seem to match up better with. In fact, we seem to be beating this comp pretty easily. This comp is playing through Irelia, which is another way that it's like they're basically running the same thing as me. 5 Innovators with 4 scrap, and they're running Sivir and what is it? They're running Irelia plus Jinx carries. But I seem to be beating that team pretty easily. So yeah, okay. Well, and then I was a ghost round. That player then beat the Sivir player. So I was like, ooh, okay. Can I knock this person out? Or can they knock this person out for me? All right, so I've got a choice of a couple different things. I strongly thought about taking the Last Whisper for Jinx, but then I had another idea. I was like, there's an assassin emblem here. Let's make Jinx into a freaking assassin, because that's going to give her crit chance. And it's also going to add crit. It's also going to make it so Echo crits on his abilities. So look at these traits that I have in here. My board is pretty insane right now. You got the Innovator, Transformer, Rival, Scrap, Socialite, Enforcer, Clockwork, Enchanter, Assassin, Twin Shot. Yep, and I'm level 10. So yeah, let's go for that. And then Gangplank's in there just for the Twin Shot trait. So I was like, all right, that works for me. Let's go ahead and watch Assassin Jinx take to the field here. Sadly, I'm getting like negative value from this locket because of my need to stand apart for exiles. But once again, now Jinx jumps into the back lines, and again, she gets that innate crit chance from being an assassin. So it's kind of like getting an Infinity Edge, honestly. It also means that her ability will crit as well when she puts the fire down on the ground. And we're gonna win this round super easily. I was like, all right. So how about the other player? It's like, oh, my ghost also took out the other player. I know it was hard to see that because we never actually saw the fight, but my ghost did win the round. So I ended up beating both of the other players there at the end. And the level 10 board ends up taking home the win. So yeah, Flex Innovators here with Level Up Augment. Very, very powerful augment. And I'm glad I got the chance to showcase that in this game. So fun stuff. They're not all going to be this easy, but I liked how I was able to use 4 scrap plus binary and the Level Up Augment to good effectiveness in this game. Well, it's the start of the set. This hopefully will be a fun one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And hope you'll stick around and watch some more of these videos. Until next time, see you guys soon.